Our presenter today is Mr. Ruchin Kumar, Principal Solution Architect, India and SARC SafeNet. May I welcome Ruchin Kumar to the stage, please.
Thank you very much. And first of all, let me salute you guys for waiting so long to hear all these speakers. And it's really, you have showed a lot of patience in hearing cloud technology for so long. So I will not be taking much of the time. I'll be finishing my presentation within 15 minutes, and the complete soul of presentation is data privacy and encryption over the cloud. So the key to the cloud security is how encryption makes the cloud safer. That is moving to the cloud without falling off a cliff, without losing the data, or without having vulnerabilities attacking the important asset which we are hosting at the cloud service provider. So if we see a typical model of cloud, we have security as a service, we have platform as a service, and we have infrastructure as a service. And there are different providers of different services. We have the different type of APIs and application engine provided by software as a service providers. We have data engine and platform APIs, middlewares, in where platform as a service is provided. And then we have virtualization APIs, hardware and networking equipments, lot of other infrastructure where infrastructure is offered as a service. Now, when we talk about the security challenges in all these three models, these can be different. But if we see that there are some common elements, we can start from the proper authentication mechanism, which applies to the software as a service in software as a service model. There are some common vulnerabilities when we talk about the new technologies like hypervisor, data retention, application and service hijacking. So there are fundamental trust and liability issues. We have our data exposed in multi-tenant environment. There are, we have to ensure separation of duties at the cloud service provider premises. Then transfer of liability by cloud providers to data owners. There are new risks emerging with the cloud technology. New hypervisor technologies and architectures are coming up with new vulnerabilities which can be exploited and which has been exploited in the recent past. Then there are regulatory uncertainty up till now. So no clear regulatory setup has been maintained for the cloud services. If we see the contractual reality, when we are agreeing to the contracts with the AWS, we can see that in their security section, they mention that you acknowledge that you bear sole responsibility for adequate security. So I don't know how many of us who are taking services from AWS are reading or going through this point. Whereas if we see the Salesforce master subscription agreement, we can see that they mention that we shall maintain appropriate administrative, physical, and technical safeguards for protection of the security. Now, what is appropriate? We are not aware. And they also say that they can provide access of your data except to provide the service, access your data except to provide services or prevent or address service or technical problems. So they can have some conditions in which they can access your data which is hosted. Now, we have seen that the encryption is emerging as the unifying security system in the clouds. It is basically isolating the data in multi-tenant environments, again recognized by various bodies, by analysts and experts to secure the data or to provide the confidentiality of the data while it is residing somewhere else away from the owner, sets a high watermark for demonstrating regulatory compliance adherence for data. There are certain laws. We have been seeing that PCI DSS Section 3.4 is talking about data encryption, encryption of the financial data which is residing in the databases or flowing through the channel. There are Information Technology Act of India. Then there were amendments. Very recently, IT Rules 2011 has come. So these all are talking about data privacy, what kind of algorithms has to be implemented, how much, what are the sensitive fields where the encryption has to be implemented. Then there are EU directives, laws in Argentina, PCI DSS section 3.6.4 again talks about HIPAA is there. So there are various laws and regulations which are talking about encryption as the technology which can provide security of the data on premises as well as on the cloud. So if we see the IT Act of India in amendments 2008, they have clearly mentioned that any body corporate which is storing the personal identifiable information of their citizens, and if that information is compromised by any means, they shall be liable to pay damages by way of compensation to the person who is affected. And the implication will be financial penalties to the organization, loss of reputation for the department or for the organization. Now, there are various kinds of attacks on the cloud. There are application and service hijacking. Now, people can spoof, people can present fake credentials and can spoof users. They can get into the cloud environment, and once they intrude into the cloud environment, they can access sensitive information, proprietary information. The examples are the GS botnet installs, command and control note on Amazon, which was done in December 2011, and virtual machine sniffing exploit on ESX, which was done very recently. Remediation is having strong multi-factor authentication. It can be form of certificate-based authentication, or it can be form of one-time password generation, which can you can say supplement or complement the username and passwords. Then there are again ways of implementing multi-factor authentication in a federated way, where we are providing single sign-on on the various applications hosted on the cloud, as well as the same the multi-factor authentication can be provided to the applications which are hosted on premises. These are SAML compliant authentication tools, so these can be easily integrated for the federal system. Then there are solutions which can be implemented on the virtual machines, and so we can have control of the keys in our premises while we are encrypting each and everything hosted on the instances and volumes provided to us by the cloud service provider. So cloud service provider is providing us a volume and instances where we can host our resources. They are creating instances for us, various instances for us. We are having tools which can provide encryption and data confidentiality on those instances and volumes. Again, there are solutions where we know that the database is having critical elements. I am hosting some data which is having some financial information, some credit card numbers, or the PAN numbers, or something which is very important or critical at the cloud service provider. I can get it encrypted. Whatever keys I am using in encryption of those data or the columns, I can have those keys hosted in my premises. So I am having control of those keys. The cloud service provider can manage my data. He can provide me infrastructure, he can provide me hardware, but he cannot alter my data, he cannot compromise my data with my competitors or with anybody else. So they can just provide me infrastructure, they can just provide me platform. they can host my data, but they cannot touch it. Then in India specifically, we see that PKI is the only technology which has been given legal status in our IT Act. Even in in amendments 2008 and IT rules 2011, they have mentioned specifically that PKI will be the only means to provide integrity and non-repudiation in India. Now, when we are hosting digitally signed elements in the cloud, we have to be very vigilant that where the key material, the root keys, the trust chain, where the trust chain lies. So the key material, my private key, the other keys using which I am signing those data should always remain in my custody. If even I am hosting those private keys and the PKI root keys in cloud service providers custody, then probably I may not fulfill the you can say the conditions to which I must abide. And in the case of cloud, I should be controlling the root keys and the private keys again by myself, so that at any point of time I can always ensure that the data which I am hosting at cloud service providers and cannot be changed. So the integrity is always there. I can always check that my employees or any of the entities from my organizations who is again responsible for creating that data can never deny at any later point of time that they have not created that data or they are not responsible for that transaction. So non-repudiation is ensured. So again, in India there is a certificate authorities over that. There is controller of certificate authorities who provide guidelines to host public and private keys, who provide guidelines to ensure security to these root keys, which becomes very basis of the security of the PKI. So they say that the whole key material should reside in the crypto modules. So we recommend that the crypto module should be hosted at the local infrastructure, again in the custody of the owner, and whenever any kind of data has to be signed, it always comes to the user, and user is never losing the private key to the CSP, the cloud service provider. So all this process of cryptography or encryption or digital signing involves a lot of keys. So a lot of key generation, backup, activation, deactivation, rotation of these keys. Again, to avoid the compromise, to avoid any kind of vulnerability to these keys, or even the last stage of their life cycle, that is destroying of these keys, should be regulated in a centralized manner, and all should remain in the data owner's custody. So this is the basically SafeNet trusted cloud environment, where we preach that there should be strong authentication for cloud services, multi-factor authentication along with username and password. There should be measures where we should provide confidentiality and privacy to our virtual machines. We should encrypt those so that only genuine users can access the right data. Then securing cloud application data, we should always ensure that the elements, critical elements lying in the databases, lying in the application servers at the CSP end, should always be protected. Again, we were talking about PKI, so for trust anchor for cloud identities and transactions, and then secure cloud communications. So while I am communicating with the cloud service provider, that link even has to be protected. Now there are various means of protecting that link, whether we are having IPsec VPNs, or we are establishing any other kind of VPN solution, or we are having layer 2 encryption solutions. SafeNet as a company, just a little bit, we are protecting most of the money that moves in the world, almost 1 trillion daily. In India, we have been providing digital signing and encryption for each and every message which is flowing for RTGS and NEFT. So even if a single transaction is happening between two banks, it is digitally signed and encrypted because of the directives of RBI, and it is done by SafeNet crypto modules. We protect the most digital identities in the world, and we protect the most classified information in the world. This is the last one. I again appreciate your patience. So we have another division where we are providing licensing to the modules which are created by people and who want to provide, you can say, if they are having, they have created a software which is having 5 different modules, and they just want to provide only 4 modules to their customer as a service. They can do that by doing the licenses. So they can define the number of modules. They can provision how many modules they need to give access to. They can put certain controls over those modules. They can measure how much those has been accessed by the user who is accessing that service. And these modules can also adapt themselves. So if, like, I am giving prepaid service for 2 modules and postpaid services for another 3 modules, I can customize, I can do lot of, you can say, juggling between these two. I can have 3 again for prepaid and 2 again for paid. So this can be done. This is a very different division. I just wanted to have this software rights management part, which is again applicable to the cloud applications, which these are the services which will be provided by the CSPs. So we are providing identity, we are protecting identities on the cloud, transactions on the cloud, data on the cloud, communications, and virtual environments. Thank you very much.
Any questions?
Yeah, I do have a question. It's one thing to just have a rule, well, all our data are going to be encrypted in the cloud. But what if you want to do something with it in the cloud that involves decrypting it? Then isn't that a potential opening for a hacker to get in? So how would you deal with decrypting data in the cloud and still protecting it?
Yeah. So if I am hosting my data, now there are 2 models. Number 1, security provided by the cloud service provider to their customers. They can have 2 offerings. One is a plain infrastructure as a service or a platform as a service provided to the customers. Second is secured platform or secured infrastructure as a service to their customers. Customer will have to pay some extra money to have secure platform or secure infrastructure with the cloud service provider. The second option is that the customer is not okay with hosting their key material inside the cloud service provider. So they will be having the crypto module sitting at their office. They will be creating some keys while they are sending any data on the fly. It is always encrypted and going to the cloud service provider, sitting over there. While again I have to access the data back. Again, my employee need that data. The data comes back to the appliance, get decrypted again by the same key material, and is accessed by the employees. So, but the trust chain or the root of trust, the key material always reside within my custody.
I mean, you can also catch Ruchin offline if you want to. So on behalf of UBM and the Cloud Connect team, I would just like to hand over a token of appreciation, and also the audience who have patiently, sat through all the sessions. Thank you.